Welcome back to Bordeaux Life, everyone. Today's vlog is a little bit sad because the build's been shut down.
But Daddy, I can do better than that. Welcome back to Bordeaux Life, everyone.
So we've got Charles with us here today, who isn't too well, so he's off school for a bit. But yeah, what do you think of it here, Charles?
Way worse than I thought.
Way worse than you thought? Would you not like me to bring your bed here and you can move in here?
Not right now, when it's finished.
When it's finished, okay. You want your own independence once it's finished.
Daddy, is there anything I can do to help?
I know. Right. For a couple of minutes, no longer, okay? Come on. You see what I do here? Yeah? I'm getting the plaster off.
Yep.
Now, I know that you're good at this because you've done this at the chateau before when you've been bored and it's not needed doing.
Wait, I want to take my hat off.
Oh no, we're on a build, you have to keep your hat on.
I can't really see one.
What did I say about this though? On the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. You're tired, yeah?
No, I want to do this for help.
Up, not on the stone. Well done. Well done, Charles. Well done. There you go.
I want to do a bit more after, please.
Okay, I'll leave you to it.
Oh, my hat fell off.
Put it back on.
That's enough of that.
Okay, good. So yeah, it's a bit of a sad one. The build's been shut down. Basically, last week I was on my ladder here and I was going to go up on the roof, just where the roof is actually covered up now actually. But basically it was a very wet day and it's kind of mix of a few different things have kind of caused a big problem. Basically the fact that this is so run down, and then we took the roof off and it just rained for 10 days, something like that. So the stone have got very, very wet. And I went up there on the ladder. Thankfully, it was myself and no one else. And as I put my hand on top of the stone up there, I felt a little bit of a kind of buzz, shall we say. And being an electrician, I knew exactly what that was straight away. So I came down and basically I could feel that there was electricity up there, which of course is very dangerous. Thankfully, that day, it was only up right at the top and didn't seem to spread anywhere, so we were good. And so Louis and Cyril got on with hacking off some of the walls over here. How does it look, Charles? Is it looking good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It looks beautiful.
Yes, I mean, it's getting there. So they just kind of finished that day there and we went home. And it was bugging me because I thought, well, how have we got electricity in a wall when our two electrical counts have actually been disconnected? One of them has no power and the other one, it has power, but it's going nowhere. And so I started checking all the cables and making sure that none of the cables had been kind of broken somehow with age or whatever. And they all seemed to be in really good condition. So I was kind of stumped, and then I thought, you know what, I've got Eric, my friend Eric, who's been on the blog a little bit in the past. He used to work for the equivalent of your kind of electricity distribution company. So he'd go out fixing problems, and when power lines come down and things like that, he'd be fixing them. So he came along and he did exactly what I did. So he was looking at this electrical counter, looking at the one downstairs, checking out the wires, no problems whatsoever. He was stumped too, until we took a look from the other side of the road. So let's go have a look from there. So when Eric came and stood here and we were looking at the two cables coming down to our counters, there was really nothing wrong with those. And then he started looking at all the other cables and he saw two cables shooting off towards the back of the house. And he said, oh, where do those go? I said, oh, they must just go to the neighbours. But we went and had a quick look just in case. And that's when we found the big problem. So when we got to the garden, we looked up and this cable here you can see going above our heads. That's one of the cables, but the other one just seemed to disappear. And so Eric decided to get on the ladder, which I said was a very bad idea, to get on the ladder and to have a look over onto the neighbour's roof to see if one of those cables actually comes to the other side of our roof as such, so like kind of the wall between myself and the neighbour. Their roof's a bit lower, ours is a bit higher, and we thought, well, maybe there's something there. And when he went up there, he had a little tool for testing where electric was, and it had rained overnight, so it got even wetter up there. And let's go and see exactly where was electrified by the morning. So when Eric was testing with his little tester, he was touching this wall here, and we had a red light come on, which means it had electricity. He was touching all over, kind of a little bit higher up here, and as soon as he kind of got to this area here, it was live again. Touched a few of the beams, all those were live. So we just, we're at our wits' end with it, really. He put the ladders up, which I was like, why are you doing that? And he said, well, no, I'm insulated, I'm fine, da, da, da. So he went up through this hole here, because the roof wasn't done at the time. And he went over the top, and I've got a photo that we're going to pop in now of exactly the state of the wires. So basically, as you can see on this photo, there is a metal hook drilled into this wall here, and the wires coming from the electric distribution, so there's no kind of breaker there. The electricity can just flow and flow and flow. And basically it's as dangerous as it gets. Basically the cables were touching this metal rod that's going into the wall. Now, stone and wood are both not insulators for electricity, so they both conduct electricity. As soon as you add water to the mix, it starts getting very, very conductive. And so I made the decision that day there, and then I said, right, we're closing down. We called an urgent number on EDF, so it's like kind of electricity distribution people. And I said, look, I've got a big problem here. I've touched the wall. I've had a shock. I can't carry on like this. You guys need to come out and fix this problem because it's your cable, your problem. Basically, the cable coming down from that pole was fine. And as you saw on the photo, the cable then from these little connectors down to the electricity board of our neighbour were just completely shot, or at least they had the plastic taken off and they were just lying on the metal hook. I spent best part of 4 or 5 hours with the neighbour that night waiting for EDF to come. They didn't bother coming, but they came the next day. And unfortunately, he said, well, you know what, she's got electricity, Yours is a build, and there are a load of people without electricity in the area due to the storms, so you'll just have to wait. So we've had a couple of dry days. The roof has been back in, tested the wood, and thankfully, as soon as things dry up, the wood becomes no longer conductive. So he's just got on with getting as much of this voltige on, so the thin wood, as he can, away from that wall behind Joanna. Because, you know, we don't want to work anywhere near that, especially when it rains. So yeah, at least we've got things moving on a little bit with the roofer, but it's quite quiet without Louis and Cyril, isn't it, Anna?
Definitely quiet.
Yeah. So it's sad. We're having to wait, and you know, I'm just not going to take a risk. You know, electricity you can't take a risk with. No. It's one of those things. You know, you don't take risks with it because there are no breakers. There's no protection there for you. If you got a big electricity shock, you know, you could be at least in hospital, if not dead. So, yeah. So whilst waiting for Enedis to come and get this mess sorted out, I think it'd be a good time for a demolition time lapse, don't you, Anna?
Yes. Definitely.
So Anna's going to go through all of that demolition footage that we've got because we had a second camera. So, you know, it's going to be really interesting angles that you've not seen before. And just to remind you how much demolition we've done to date.
Oh, it just came off. It's fun doing this.
That's it. Found the technique.
Hard as a rock.
Okay, just stop. Oh, good. Charles, stop.
If you enjoyed today's vlog, leave a like, subscribe and leave a comment and ding that bell.
See you all next time.